What's up, everybody? John from Old Reading Farm here. Thanks for joining us in today's video. My hair is very floppy. Oh, look at that. Don't know what's, oh geez, keeps getting better. All right, so here we go. So in today's video, everything is dead. Like, now I don't mean animals, sorry, I hope that wasn't scary, but I mean, if you look at the trees, it is fall, all the leaves are gone. Kenny's coming with me out to the woods here. So today is one of the few days that I have where I'm not spending my after work hours chainsaw carving. And the reason for that is that we have an open farm day coming on Sunday. And I need to prepare for that. This little guy. So in order to do that, we have a couple things. I have a couple things on my list today. Number one is going to be cleaning out the chicken coops. I also need to refill the peacocks' food. It's chilly today. Then I also need to, honestly, I need to work on my compost pile, and I should have brought the tractor back here to get the bucket so that I could do that. But anyway, look at all these logs. So I think in our last video, I talked about the 4 loads of logs that I got. I think it was actually 5. I'm about to get 6 today. But luckily, you know, sawmill, chainsaw carver, justified. So we got this giant pile of logs, this giant pile of logs, and that giant pile of logs. And we'll end up with one more. Oh! Also that pile of logs. But those are all like little chunks of stuff. But anyway, it's been cold. It's also been raining. And as you can see, I have been pretty busy. But because it's been raining and I'm going to use this stuff for burning, I didn't want it to just sit outside and get soaking wet. So, what do you think, Ken? I'm just grabbing a little tripod. Whoa! So you guys can come with me, and we got a couple things to do. I also need to do some leaf blowing, not down here because this doesn't really matter. But I need to blow off the chicken coops and the peacock house, because I think I also showed you in my last video. I did some reinforcing on the peacock house, but it still has a lot of leaves, so I need to leaf blow that. Oh, you know what? I also need to do some reinforcing on the alpaca fence. I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm looking forward to when chainsaw carving isn't my, you know, number one main goal 24/7, because I can actually get some of this stuff done without it being a rush. You can see him. I love little Kenny. Come on, Kenny, let's go. It's like a little dog. It's pretty funny. Anyway, so I'm gonna go get started on some of that, and you'll come with me. So this is a sort of random thought, but it's funny because, so on my property, you know, being, you know, a chainsaw carver and a sawmill sawyer now, sort of, I know a lot more and I'm more interested in types of trees. And so like when you look at the ground, you can really tell like what kind of trees you have. Because like, so this little rounded leaf thing here, I believe is from a birch, of which there's one right here, and there's a couple more back there. And then oak is always this trademarky little doodad, which we got a million of those. Then, let's see. Nope. What's next? Next is, oh, this is another oak. Thought I saw, oh, here we go. Little maple leaf. Pretty, right? Autumnal, very autumnal. And like, I'm excited, you know, maybe next year, if, you know, if I have more time on the farm, maybe we could actually do more with maple syrup. And now that I have, like, I was thinking of maybe even my chainsaw carving shed, if I could put my boiler either in there or right near there, so that I could try to actually boil some maple syrup this spring. I think that would be fun. But then the other cool leaf that I've seen here, and it's funny because they all turn yellow these. And this is a tulip leaf. So this is from the tulip tree, which we actually have a lot of. And I learned something that it's often called a yellow poplar, but it's actually not even close to being related to a poplar tree. So this is a tulip right here. And you can see they grow to be very, very, very tall. And the interesting thing that I learned about them, which is again, maybe not that interesting to you, but I thought it was cool. So they're very shade intolerant. And so that's why they grow so big and straight without any branches. Because that's one of the things that I love about tulip trees is that they grow, I mean, you can see this one has a bend right here, but then look how straight it is up there. So it grows big and tall and straight because it cannot grow branches in the shade. So when it's in old growth tree areas like this, it tries to grow as straight up as it can to try to hit that sunlight, and then you only get like the full bloom of branches once it's done. So that's why it's so long and straight and no knots. But then also, it holds an awful lot of tension, and that's why when you mill it, sometimes you end up with canoe wood, is what I call it, because it bows and you get a big, bend in the wood. Anyway, so I'm heading here. I think step one is gonna be to do some leaf blowing here, and then we'll go and clean out some chicken coops. Yeah, so you can see all these leaves. And it's like the leaves themselves are fine, but when they get wet and soggy, they get extra heavy, so I've gotta blow them out. Who are you trying to impress, bro? Look at this. Oh, wow, that's like, almost solid ice there. Too soon. Too soon, Kenny. And then just to pay off the tease of the video, so we had our first real frost last night, and so you can see now, like all the dahlias are dying back, and we'll have to dig them up at some point. But I mean, you can see basically everything's dead now. Except for Kenny. Hey, buddy. I love Kenny. He's a good dude. Catch some mice, buddy. All right, so everybody's very upset about coming in here and leaf blowing. I'm gonna lock these guys in there. Maybe I'll lock these guys in there too, and so we'll start with these. So what we're gonna do, and we've done this before in videos, so we'll come in here and dig out some of this, which is, old chicken litter and manure. Bless you. And then we'll just clean this out and throw it in our compost pile. Now, our compost pile is a little spread out. You can see it's up to about there. So I'm also gonna go grab my tractor bucket and just compact it a little bit, make it easier to dump stuff over there. So I'm gonna grab my gorilla cart. I also need to grab a shovel, and we'll get to work. Okay, so I just finished. I was able to get 9.5 out of 12 coops done. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to show you the coops real quick, and then I'll show you the massive stuff that got out of there. I mean, honestly, how exciting can that really be? But I know we got a lot of chicken people out there, and so you know what it's like when you have, and it's also been raining, so it's wet and it smells bad. So we're gonna get those pine pellets down there. It's gonna absorb a ton of moisture, and it'll make it smell much better. So I also had a meeting with our zoning person. They came over so we had a zoning permit out for the boy alpaca barn, for the peacock house, and for the emu house, which is over there. We had that open for like 1.5 years because we are still gonna do something different with this. But we were having a little slight disagreement with the neighbors, and so I was just thinking, like, we can basically close this permit out. Let's just close it out. Just, I want to have a clean slate, clean record. But anyway, look at this pile of poop. That's a lot. So, before this was all out here, I shoveled it in to make one big gigantic pile. And then I'm going to have to make another pile because this thing is taller than me now. It's hard to see from the angle, but it is definitely taller than me. Look at that. But so, the good thing about this is a combination of chicken compost and alpaca manure. There's also some leaves and some like weeds and so greens and stuff in here. But this chicken manure stuff, I mean, you can even look at it. It has been composting for a very long time while it's just been sitting there. Like that's not just chicken poop. That's pine shavings that because every week Catherine cleans out the coops and scoops all of the pine shavings basically into the run. And then, so this is all like pine shavings and chicken poop broken down. So that's important because chicken manure has a high nitrogen content. And so usually it is way too hot to put directly like on your flower beds or something like that. But I'm hopeful that because it's already been composting in the ground over there, it's going to be ready much, much sooner. And since we're only hoping to really plant grass, I think it should be fine, especially because we had several pumpkins grow directly out of the chicken manure. So my thought is if it's good enough for pumpkins, it's good enough for grass. We'll have to see about that. But anyway, I wasn't able to get that much done. I spent like 6 hours today cleaning out chicken poop. So Catherine just made chili, so I'm going to eat some chili and hopefully have something fun to watch on the TV. But anyways, thank you guys for sticking around with me for this long, and I hope you enjoy this video, and we'll see you next time.